till now, what we have learned is how we can store data inside of the computer memory using a concept called variable, and the different data types can be stored inside of the computer variable, and the different data types that can be stored in the computer memory. But we are hard coding the data inside of the codes, means we were assigning the values directly in a variable in the codes. That is something known as hardly coding. But for running a software or whatever product you are going to make with a programming language, that should take the values from the user, and the user is not going to give the data in the codes. So you need something which can accept the user data by some console or terminal, or it should have some interface where the user can insert your data. Now for that I'm going back to the Visual Studio Code, and here we will see how we can use a function called input to take the input data from the user. So the concept is same. We want to take the name from the user as input and print the name in the terminal. So let us remove that, but we are hardly coding, and call a function called input. Let us run the code, and it is showing nothing, so it is asking for an input. So let us give it so let's give it an input, and you can see that the name is being printed twice. So this input function is used for reading some data from the terminal. So if you hover over the input function, then you can see the text is showing that read a string from the standard input. So this is the way to take input from the user. But let us make it more dynamic. When we are running this code, it is just showing a blank screen in front of us, but that is not the way it should do it. We don't know what we are inserting it, what input we are giving it to perform some action. So what else we can do? So let us cancel this execution, and we can pass some string inside of this input function. So let us say enter your name, and to make it more clear, we will use some formatting, nothing else, just a colon after that and a space to make it look clear. Then let us run the code again, and you can see that it is asking for enter, and it is telling that it enter your name. So we know that what we should enter now. So let us enter our name again, and you can see that it is working successfully. Now let us make it more dynamic. We already know the use of formatted string. So what else we can do? We can print that your name is this. So let me remove the third line of code because we don't need that, and we will format the print here. So how do you format? We use if in the front of the string in the print function, then your name is, then the variable, it goes under a curly braces. And let me run the code again, and it is asking for the input. Let me give that, and you can see that it is printing dynamically the name that we are inserting. So let us run the code again, and this time I will give it another input, and you can see that it is dynamically taking input from the user in the terminal and printing that. So I have a task for you. You just do the same program. In this time you take input of name and your age as well in the same program. So define one more variable called age, and use the input function to take the input of your age and print that in another line. So that is for this video, and I will show you the solution in the next video, don't worry.